I have become almost indifferent to what's going on in me. Since my first story, so much shit was discovered that I became dulled down to the point of almost not giving a fuck. Put that attitude together with the fact that nothing happened to us since Rose's break-in, and you have one dude who doesn't care anymore. I suppose everyone reaches that point at some time. Maybe it's a defense mechanism. Anyway, yesterday I had a day off from work. My girlfriend decided to get away from everything for a little while. She visited her friend's house in our town for a few days. I had a day off and wanted to do more than just lift weights, so I rode 50 miles to the next city on a long bike ride. It was cloudy in the morning, so I took only a few bucks for the bus ride back. About 30 miles into the trip, I got on this bike trail that led almost to the end of my destination. It is a 22-mile trail. I made this trip once in July, and the place was packed. This time, the trail looked deserted. Nobody is on it, and the weather became shittier and shittier. Heavy fog set in. My shirt was dripping with water, and visibility was shit, but I decided to keep going. A few miles into the trail, I started noticing benches on the side, something I hadn't noticed before. Cool idea. You need a break sometimes because the road is long. I kept riding though. Visibility was 15 feet at best. About 7 miles into the track, I thought I heard laughing. I squeezed my brakes and slid for a few feet. I listened. Nothing. Well, I know what you think, and you're right. I'm a fucking idiot. Going for a long trip on a secluded track when I have some crazy cunt following me. Plot of a cliché horror movie. I know, and I regret doing what I did. But my reasoning was that nobody ever physically attacked me, so the worst case scenario would be I am offered another fucking orange. I got back on the bike, did a few pedal strokes, and heard the laughing again. It was coming from ahead. Fuck it, I'm biking through. That's when I saw someone sitting on the bench ahead. I lied to myself, saying it's normal for a biker to sit on the side and rest. That's what it is, right? You and I both know that it wasn't a biker sitting there. It was a man. He wore a black suit. No hat or cane though, so I felt a little better. Then, I noticed an orange right next to him on the bench. Rose's encounters were scary as hell, but this man was on a whole new level. I just kept pedaling. I heard the laugh again as I rode away from him. I arrived at the bus station at 4:10 p.m. The last bus was leaving at 4:30. The way these schedules work, this bus would take me to a small town at the beginning of that trail, where I'd catch another bus home. I came to the bus station and saw that the bus only had 2 bike racks, which were both taken. The driver said it was against the rules to put a bike inside the bus. It was the last bus, and if I wanted to go back home that night, I'd have to bike to the other town and arrive before 7 p.m. I had 2.5 hours to do 20 miles, either that or spend the night there. I want to tell you that I persuaded the driver to let me in. I wish I had stayed there that night. I could have tried to pay for the hotel by giving them my credit card number. I could have tried. No, I decided to bike, and I got what I deserved. 2 miles into the trail, I saw something on the ground about 20 feet ahead. I slowed down. It was a G.I. Joe action soldier toy. Looked pretty new. Oh well, some kid dropped it while biking with his family. Keep pedaling, son. A mile later, another object was ahead. Basketball. I stop. Pick it up, drop it, eyes full of tears. When I was in about 8th grade, my school had basketball 3-on-3 tournaments. I was so fucking excited for that shit, man. I gathered the best team I could find. If we won, we could go to an even bigger tournament and win some money. We arrived at the court and realized that only 2 teams had signed up in our age category. We were joyful because that meant that even if we lost, we'd win an award. We lost, but we actually got destroyed by the other kids. But since we ended in 2nd place, we got a $50 gift card each for a store equivalent to a Foot Locker here. We all ran to that place. My friends all picked shoes and jerseys, but I chose this basketball. It was so unique, painted like a chessboard, 64 squares, 32 black and 32 white. They called me crazy for spending my gift card on it, but I loved it. At least for a few days, until I realized that the colors on it gave me a headache when it spun, and that the designers of this ball were stupid assholes. So I threw it in the river when I crossed one of the bridges near my house. And now, I was holding that same ball, 5,000 miles away from home, in the middle of the woods on some bike trail that only I knew I'd be crossing that day. I froze, dropped the ball, and just wanted to yell. You get mad at some point, you know, that your life isn't as normal as other people's. Why can't I worry about shit like whether my NFL team is gonna go to playoffs or whether I'm gonna get a raise? Why do I have to go through this? What did I do? Well, I could contemplate about life, or I could get the fuck out of these woods and try to catch that bus. I chose the latter. So I kept biking carefully. After a few miles, another thing, a page out of the newspaper. It got wet from a light drizzle. I picked it up. It was an article about me. When I just came to the US, the school I played ball for published an article about my life in their paper. There it was, in my hands. I dropped that shit and decided not to stop anymore. So I am flying down the trail. About 2 more miles, I am out of these woods of hell. It's getting dark and more foggy. And then I hear the laugh. I slow down, scared of what's coming. I see a silhouette sitting on the bench ahead. The same bench where that man was, laughing again. It is Rose. I pressed my brakes so hard I was surprised I didn't fly over the wheel. She was sitting there, legs crossed, looking straight ahead. Then she turned towards me, tilted her head, smiled with a many times described grin, and said, "Sit." This was the first time I got scared to the point that my extremities gave up for a second. In other encounters with her, I was in my home, or at least somewhat of a safe place. This was in the woods. And as I type this, I realize even more how fucking stupid it was of me to embark on this trip at a time like this. Maybe subconsciously, I wanted to meet her again. I regained some courage and got off the bike. She was still smiling, not moving at all. "Sit. You've been a very stubborn boy, Milos." I took a moment to reply. "I am not a boy. I don't want to have anything with you people. Why can't you leave me the fuck alone? What do you want from me?" "No need to yell, Milos." She paused and whispered, "I only want you to come with me." I stared at her but finally found words. "First, tell me what you want, and then I'll decide." She took an orange sitting next to her and offered it to me. "It is not your decision to make," she replied, although her voice changed to a more adult one. "This is my life, you fucking bitch," I shouted. She lost her smile. "You know, Milos, all this goes far back. You have no power over this. You will come." I stepped back, ready to knock her the fuck out. "I will fight you people. I'll call the police. I growled. "You can't do anything." She cut me off. "Who do you think I am? Do you think the police can help you? You think your friends can help?" She started laughing. She laughed, never closing her eyes or taking them off of me. "You silly boy." Her voice switched to a child's version again. "You have so much to learn about us." She stepped towards me. "Do you think your gods will save you? Ask your priest about me. Ask and then decide." It was time to run. I ran back to the bike, got on it, and started pedaling like the devil himself was behind me. As I passed her, she started laughing uncontrollably, still looking at the orange. I got on the bus at the last moment. I was a wreck during the ride, and when I got home, I called the guy from the police station and told him what happened, and he said he'd contact the local police and ask them to go check the trail out. I expect nothing. I spent the whole day thinking about what happened. How could they get all my stuff that I'm sure didn't exist anymore? How? And what did she mean by ask my priest? So many questions and exactly 0 fucking answers. I am mentally drained. I didn't tell my girlfriend about this because this would probably cause her to have a nervous breakdown. I might have one myself. I am a broken man tormented by something I am not familiar with. I am lost.